All right, so let's get our report made in our database. This is basically the last part. Has some information at the end of the chapter that I'm going to ask you to review and look over, but this is the main part to finish this. And we are on AC 41 and 42 in our textbook, and we are going to create a report. So a lot of times maybe you have a report that you want to run from a table mainly for printing purposes, and you can make changes to the report and print just what you want. So let's look at AC 42. Ask me to make sure that the account table is selected because that's what my report is based on. It's from that data. So let's open that just to see, here's the data that we are creating a report from. So I'm going to close that. And just like when we created our query and our form, we use the Create tab. If for some reason your report button here isn't active, it's probably because you don't have this selected, you don't have a table selected, so make sure account is selected. And then just simply hit the report button and Access does most of the work for you. On AC 42, it asks us to save this. So to save it, I'm going to hit my Save button. And I am naming this what it shows at the bottom of AC 42, which is Account Financial Report. And then I'm going to click OK. Notice the name has been changed to reflect that. Here's our title. I'm on the top of page AC 43. And then our textbook asks us to just go ahead and close it. So let's close this. And then it asks us to open it back up in layout view. We need it to be in layout view so that we can make changes to the report. So if I open this report, you can tell what view we're in. We're in report view right now. And then there's print preview, and then there's layout view and design view. And so in this report view, I can't come in here and make changes. So I need to be in layout view. So I'm going to close this. And I can actually open it in layout view automatically. If I right click on the report and choose layout view. Now I'm in a place where I can make changes and I can edit the information. So at the bottom of page 43, I'm going to click twice to get into this field so that I can change the title. And the title that we want, I'm going to actually close the navigation pane like it asks us to do in the textbook. The title that we want to use will match our report, the name of our report, which is Account Financial Report. And then it's going to ask us to remove some of the columns in this. We don't want everything in this report. We don't need these different clients, these different accounts, street address, and their city and everything in here. So to do that, it asks us to select street, select that field, that column header. And then I'm going to hold the Control button down on my keyboard, and I'm going to select all four of those. So in order to select all four, I have to hit Control, and then I can select multiple columns at one time. So once I have those selected, if you look at the bottom of AC 44, it asks us to go to the Arrange tab. So this is where you can move things around, and you can also select the columns. So we want to select everything, not just the headings. We're going to select the column. And then once we have those selected, we're just going to go ahead and hit the Delete key. And then that gets rid of or removes those columns so that now our report has the information that we want in it, which is just the account name, paid, current, due date, and then the account number and the account manager number that's associated with it. So at the top of page, actually the bottom of page AC44, we're going to go in and we're going to now edit these column headings. So if I click once, it selects it. If I click again, it gives me an insertion point. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to type in account number. And then I'm also going to do the same thing for this column header. It's account manager number. So I'm typing that, and that is showing us on the top of page AC45. That's where I am in your book. And then it asked us to start changing some of the width of these columns. So if you look at step 5 on AC45, we're going to select account number. And we're going to drag it down. That's actually on step 4. And then on step 5, we can drag this so that this column width so that it doesn't take up so much space. So right now, if I look in my book, account number looks pretty similar to what's on step 5, where I have account number and I've adjusted the width and I've just adjusted the height of this header. And it asked me to do a similar thing for the account manager. Let's see. Just a little bit more so that it fits in. So adjust this similar, so it's similar to the figure 177 at the bottom of our AC45 page. So resizing that so that it looks similar to that. All right, so we should have this so that the width matches pretty closely to the image in your book. And now I'm on AC46. And now we are going to add totals, some totals to a couple of our columns. So I'm on AC46 at the top. It asked me to click the amount paid field. So I'm going to select this. And then we're going to select design. And over here, you notice that you, similar to what you had in Excel, you have an area where you can use some different, basically, formulas in here. So it's going to create a formula and it's going to sum those. So we're going to select this down arrow and I'm going to choose sum. Let's look and see. So this happened as well for me earlier when I was in here working. So the current due total is already there, even though the book asks you to do it. So you want to make sure when you select, the next step asks you to select let me see what step it is. Using the same technique that's on step 2, select the current due column and calculate that as well. So if I do that, if I choose sum, notice it was already chosen. So it actually removes that. So you want to make sure that you have this selected and that you do have the sum so that both of these have sums. And then at the bottom of AC46, it asks you to scroll down to the bottom, and if you need to, adjust these. So I'm going to adjust the height of these so that I can see my total. And then it also asks you to move this page number over. If you look at this, this line is dividing. It's showing it would not print. It would be off the page. So I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to try to put it in a similar place to what the book shows me. So I moved this, I made those so that those would be able to view. Now I'm going to make sure I save this since I've done some work in this. And all I have to do is hit the save button. So in order to now print this report, I'm actually going to close it. So in order to now print this report, I can find my report here. I can right click, I can click print, I can do print preview. I can also select the report here. I can click file, print, I can do print preview, I can print from here, and I can do the quick print. So let's do print preview and to see what it looks like. And notice we have that view down here for reports anyway. We have a print preview report down at the bottom. Remember, we were in layout view so that we could edit report view so we can view it. And now in print preview, you can see what it looks like to print. So I'm going to close print preview. So now on AC48, it talks about changing the database properties. We're not actually going to change them. But if I click on File, over here, there's a View and Edit Database Properties. So sometimes with a database, you maybe will want to put a title, subject, your company name if you're working for a company. This one actually already has Cengage in here because they're the one that created this start file for us. But that's where you would do that. You would do it in the document properties. Hit cancel, go back. And your job now is to make sure that you read from page AC48. And it's going to talk about data design. I'm going to go through some of this that will help you review what we've done. Talks about if you want to make a database compact or if you need to repair it. So please read through that information until you get to the end of the chapter.